How many more movies are planned for the TCU? Let's talk a little bit about this.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and today we are finally continuing Twisted Childhood Universe Week. Dang it! If you already got to see Pinocchio Unstrung in theaters, then please make sure to check out my spoiler-free review that I posted this past Monday. If you're a fan of these twisted fairy tales, you're not gonna want to miss this one in theaters. Speaking of which, today's video is all about the future of the Twisted Childhood universe, looking ahead at all of the different flicks we have on the horizon. Now, most of the time when I make these videos looking ahead at what's to come for a franchise, we're usually talking about 1, maybe 2 movies. Today we're talking about 11. 11 projects that may or may not come to fruition, admittedly, but 11 projects nonetheless. So if your childhood hasn't been ruined yet, it's about to be. Let's start this off with what's next in the Twisted Childhood universe, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3. The third entry in the flagship series is a prequel film set before the events of every installment we have so far. There's a very strange continuity happening in the POOHNIVERSE thus far, where the first movie in the franchise, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, is technically a movie within the universe that is based off of real things that actually happened but have yet to be technically depicted on screen. It's kind of like a meta stab in Scream kind of situation, but we haven't actually seen the events that unfolded to then make the said fictional movie within the movies. That's a little complex. In fact, people within the TCU are actually fans of this movie. Most recently in Pinocchio Unstrung, we actually saw a character jamming out to the soundtrack of the movie within the movie. The rest of the flicks we've seen so far, including Blood and Honey 2, Neverland Nightmare, Bambi, and Pinocchio, all take place in the same week. Some examples of the connective tissue we've seen so far are the Glamping Girls making a brief appearance in Neverland Nightmare before they're slaughtered at the beginning of Winnie 2, and Michael Darling is briefly in Pinocchio Unstrung, where he attends the same elementary school as James. Blood and Honey 3 is going to break this trend by setting itself before the events of pretty much everything. Scott Chambers, who produces these movies through Jagged Edge Productions and even stars as Christopher Robin, is slipping into the director role for this flick. He told Screen Rant that this prequel is mostly getting away from Christopher Robin in order to shed some light on Pooh and the gang's mysterious backstory. The plot mostly centers on Pooh, Tigger, and Rabbit getting captured and put into a circus forced to perform. Chambers continued talking about the third film, saying, "And then you've got this fun, Carrie-esque vibe that you're getting towards the end, the prom moment, with them escaping in the circus. So that's the route I went. It's definitely camp, it's definitely fun. I have 24 on-screen deaths, and they're full on-screen deaths. You see them, they're all gnarly, and my creature designs, I'm really happy with my Pooh. I feel like it's a cool little upgrade, but I am still in it. I make a cameo, and that will link to Winnie too." I can't believe he actually said, "I'm happy with my Pooh" in a real official interview. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I love you, Scott. I've also heard through the grapevine that a lot of the influencers that have been cast in this film are likely going to be killed during this circus sequence. Man, I so regret not being able to hop the pond to be in this one. Richard Stanley, director of the Nicolas Cage H.P. Lovecraft sci-fi feature, The Color Out of Space, wrote the story alongside Chambers. Stanley even plays the ringleader of the Woozles, the 100-year-old Balthazar von Woozle, the main antagonist of this prequel that captures the animal-children hybrids for this circus. This kind of physical and mental abuse is one of the many reasons why these characters are probably so pissed off at Ashdown. I'm sure Richard's character is gonna get some comeuppance at the end of this one with the gnarliest death of the flick. Doing a prequel makes so much sense for this universe, especially considering how obscure the past is right now. Like I was saying earlier, the events of the first movie are only a retelling through the lens of a schlocky in-universe slasher film. There's also a whole 5 years in between when Christopher Robin left his friends and when Pooh gained a hunger for more than just honey. This movie seems to be diving into those desperate times for these rejected characters and showing us all the hardships they went through. Knowing that it ends with a Christopher Robin cameo, could we actually see some of the real events that inspired the movie within the movie? That might be this meta way of being able to redo some of the sequences from the first, very low-budget Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey film. More than anything, I just want to see them cook and eat Eeyore. Does that make me a little fucked up? Probably, yeah. Blood and Honey 3 is not only going to introduce us to the Woozles, but also some other new characters like the Little Mermaid and the Roger L. Jackson voiced rabbit. Like Scott said in that quote earlier, we're also getting some new designs for Pooh Bear and Tigger. Part 2 was already such a massive improvement upon the way that Pooh looked, especially considering that they were just using like Spirit Halloween masks. They had full-on designs for the characters moving into that sequel. Now they have somehow gotten even scarier. Winnie especially looks so menacing here, resembling a real bear more than ever. Tigger's design is taking a similar approach as well, looking like a real-life mutated tiger. A little fun fact about bears is when they get hungry and they catch up to you, they're just gonna hold you down on the ground and eat you alive until you slowly die. Anyways, Blood and Honey 3 is rumored to be dropping sometime this September, as it's currently in post-production. I don't know if that's true, I can't find any official source saying that, but I am seeing some rumors floating about. Take that with a grain of salt, I think it's likely gonna come out sometime early next year. While Part 3 is gonna show us what happened in the past, POOHNIVERSE Monsters Assemble is going to move the story forward. Inspired by Freddy vs. Jason and Avengers Endgame, the culmination will see all of the horror villains in the universe thus far together in the same film for the first time. Will they be killing together in harmony, or will they be sworn enemies? Well, considering that the poster features Pooh Bear riding Bambi into battle, I would think the former. Reese Frake Waterfield will take the helm again for this flick after directing Blood and Honey 2, as well as Pinocchio Unstrung, saying of the next entry, it will be complete carnage. We would love to see a horror movie where the villains group together and are going after their survivors. We have some incredible set pieces in mind and some sequences I think will truly shock people. So not only are the villains teaming up here, but also Christopher Robin, Zana, Michael Darling, James, and so on. Pinocchio's a bit of a gray area, but that's a spoiler for the new film. This movie is also setting the stage for phase 2 of the TCU. Yes, there's really phases of all of this. And it's rumored that we're going to be introduced to a variety of new characters like Alice in Wonderland, Sleeping Beauty, Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, and even Mary Poppins. These characters will be appearing in new spin-off movies to come, such as Awakening Sleeping Beauty, Snow White Returns, Alice and the Mad Hatter, as well as an untitled feature based on the Mary Poppins character. Tigger is also getting his own spin-off flick, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare might be getting a sequel. Those last two projects especially have my interest, considering that Tigger ended up being a very big standout of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. It would be nice to see some of the other side characters that aren't showing up in Blood and Honey 3 here in this little Tigger spinoff. Owl and Piglet sadly won't be featured in the next film, but maybe one of them will be here. A Neverland Nightmare sequel is really cool too, considering the fact that we were left on this ambiguous little cliffhanger of if Neverland is real or not. The sequel will likely explore that and maybe even give us some answers. The Neverland Nightmare sequel is currently up in the air, however, as director Scott Chambers said it would only happen if the first movie did well at the box office. The Peter Pan flick still ended up being profitable, pulling in $1.6 million against a minuscule budget. But that film did end up being one of the lowest performing TCU outings to date. Chambers has also stated that a movie based on the Tinkerbell character could be coming too, but again, that just seems like it's up in the air. Another project that seems to be on the back burner is a Tarzan horror adaptation called Tarzan Beast of the Jungle, as well as a Jungle Book themed installment. Outside of their announcement, these projects haven't received a ton of updates lately and may be scrapped, but they are certainly worth mentioning. I don't know if these characters would fit so seamlessly into this universe, but hey, I'm open-minded to anything, man. A horror version of Tarzan and the Jungle Book? I mean, yeah, sure, why not? The public domain horror universe rages on, and I'm really excited to cover more installments in the future. These movies are always so fun and ridiculous. By the way, I still plan on ranking all 5 of the TCU movies, but it's likely going to happen in some sort of short over the weekend. I totally ran out of time this week as there was a whole bunch of news. Make sure to check out all of the videos posted this week. Old Jake here is gonna take the weekend to recover, as a lot of caffeine has been pumping through these veins in order to get all this editing done. Before we wrap up today's video, please make sure to like it and subscribe to this page for more updates on the most exciting horror projects. You can also listen to horror updates on Spotify while you're on the go. Also, the best way to support this channel is by becoming a patron over on Patreon. Over there, you can find a ton of bonus content like reactions to various horror TV shows and movies. We're currently watching Dexter and Hannibal with multiple episodes going up there a week. No, what? Check it out by clicking on the link in the description below. One final plug and I'll shut the heck up. Please make sure to also check out my film channel, Human Egg Productions, where we're currently posting horror and comedy short films every Friday. If you like slashers especially, check out the gory short I wrote and directed called Chicken Man. Thank you to everyone who supports all of my pages. So which project in the POOHNIVERSE are you looking forward to the most? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.